this one difficult for Will, but not for him.
I tell you what, on the surface, that should definitely be a ride that gets him back to the #1 position. Alves with a resurgent weekend here in Sacramento. You can see how fired up he is. 89 points, and he is back to #1.
Worth every point, too. That's just an outstanding job by the three-time champ of the world. And this bull's got a lot of stuff to him. He's got some movement. Silvano's never in perfect shape, but he never gives up on it. His head's down the whole time. That was big stuff coming from Silvano right there, man. That was awesome. You can't make the whistle no matter what you try.
Bull's got a real attitude.
The little things added up. Freckles Brown goes down. Alves on the board after going 2 for 3 last weekend. You can see he's happy with himself tonight.
And he should be, man. This was a really good ride.
90 points.
Man, that is, I'll tell you what, that's the kind of ride right there that can change Silvano Alves' whole season to come now. You know, I love the dedication. This is a 3-time world champion we're talking about, and he's discussing having to correct and work on the little things. That's a guy that's not done with this sport just yet.
Well, Justin, you know, we've covered this sport for a very long time. That is Alves looking for his first score of the weekend. Expect a veteran rider going up against a veteran bull to have a result like that. Alves converts. It should be enough to bring him back because that was a good-looking bull ride.
Yeah, really a nice ride. Red bandana has a good day, typical of him. And Silvano does a good job away from his hand right there. You watch this back, and when I talk about guys' free arms and them getting behind him and this and that, Silvano's, it'll get behind him a little bit, but watch what he does. He breaks at his hips, gets back to the front end every time. As long as you don't let your free arm take control of your upper body and get it whipped all out of shape, you can get by with that. It doesn't have to be in a perfect mold all the time. Everybody's going to look a little different.
I think he's got some redemption on his mind.
He gets the redemption he was looking for, but he's takes
out, guys.
A horrible hit. You heard Jesse say that Silvano was dazed, and he is still feeling the effects. He's going to get that qualified ride, but after sports medicine checks him out, we're all going to wonder whether he can come back for a championship round. And the score is going to be low, 84 3/4, but you got to give him credit for making the 8.
I liked it a little better than 84
Yeah.
3/4. Bull really had a pretty decent day. When he goes back, watch how he just lands right on that point of that shoulder and side of his head right here. That's a light switch to some guys. Bam, right there.
I would love to see him get back to that point where he could win a world title.
Both directions, and Alves there. All the way to the sound of the 8-second horn. Alves on the board.
This is a day off for Silvano. I mean, he could ride this bull in his sleep any day. 3 gold buckles on his belt. Tells you this bull doesn't have a chance to get Silvano Alves on the ground. Both directions, no problem.
81 3/4 points. He becomes the 12th man to put a score on the board. What does that do for his confidence?
It's a perfect chance to go.
Keep hustling, keep hustling, keep riding.
There you go. Little bit of the kitchen sink technique from cut the cord on that out. It is a second score for Silvano. He is now 2 for 2, and he is definitely in the championship round, 83 points.
Yeah, and Silvano does a good job of tracking him around here, whatever the bull does. But this sometimes is a result of when you take a long time in the chute against a bull, especially an old veteran like this. It'll take a little bit away from their performance once the gate opens.
Let's not lose sight of the fact that that is career ride number 396 for Silvano Alves. So approaching a historical mile mark of his own. He's set so many standards throughout his career. Silvano Alves becomes our first qualified ride at this year's last Cowboy standing. Shades of perhaps time gone by, but as far as Alves is concerned, Ty, no time like the present.
You know, the thing that stands out about this, and I've seen Silvano make so many great rides, but watch his shirt come untucked. That's because he's giving it everything he's got. He's strung out on the end of his arm. He's making giant Hail Mary moves to get around that corner. The most impressive thing about that ride to me is the amount of guts and effort that he put into it. That's showing Silvano Alves wanting it.
86 and a quarter points. That emotion at the end showing how much Alves wants it as well.
Just been inconsistent. He rides some bulls that's unridden, you know, and be 90, and then he just falls off a few in a row. But this one should fit him right into his hand all day long.
JW called it 5 in a row, and we're going to do it. The bull called Kit Fox from Jerry Brown makes the 5th ride in a row in Anaheim. Silvano Alves. He did well in Sacramento, so California has been good to Alves. 84 points for the 3-time champion of the world. 84.
That's just what Alves wants right there. He wants them 84, 85-point spinners. They're above a re-ride. You don't have to make any decisions and get the scores.
And if you ride 3 of them, they're
They'll
going to pay you.
Will this be 4:04? Silvano Alves able to channel the 3-time world championship form. He's now 2 for 2, and as we can all see, fired up. 86 points.
Worth every point, because you always hear us talking about forward movement, forward movement. Well, this is how you handle it. This bull is forward the entire time. Look at Silvano's upper body. He does